In this video, we're going to look at a question. The question says, find all the characteristics of the hyperbola with this equation. In order to solve this, firstly, we need to divide both sides by the 30 to get our standard form of a hyperbola. So if we divide both sides by a 30, we would get x minus 1 squared over 15 minus y minus 3 squared over 10 is equal to 1. Now this gives us the form for a, right? A here is not 15 but square root of 15, and b is the square root of 10, since the bottom should have a squared and b squared. Alright, so let's go ahead and plot down the center. The center C is equal to 1 comma 3, as you remember, h comma k. You can convert this equation if you want to standard form that's centered at the origin, if you would like, and then you can set x is equal to 0, which gives us x minus 1 equals 0 and x is equal to 1, and similarly for y. Now we have the vertices. The vertices are 1 plus minus square root of 15 comma 3. Now why is that the case? Well, our graph here, see the negatives, like the y and the x are not swapped, so it is the form that we looked at in the previous video. So it's like this, and so the vertices will be just shifts on the x and not on the y. And in this case, our center is at like 1 comma 3, so somewhere around here. And so the 3 is the y and the rest changes. You can again do that by simply using these ideas. X should have been plus minus a and y is 0, right? So you can substitute x minus 1 is equal to plus minus a here is square root of 15 and y minus 3 is equal to 0, and you can do it in this way. All right, so moving on. Let's now plot down the, let's first write the eccentricity, since we can define the foci through the eccentricity. So this is a b squared over a squared, which gives us square root of 15 over 3. Okay, so now we have the foci. The foci will be, if you can remember, this was the form of the foci, and that would be talking about like something centered at the origin. So you will have the equations plus minus square root of 15. This needs to be multiplied by the eccentricity. So a multiplied by this, and you have comma 3. So this gives us 1 plus or minus 5 comma 3, and so we can write 1 plus 3 is a 6 comma 3, and we have 1 minus 5 is a minus 4 comma 3. So these are our foci. Again, in this case, you can set x, the capital 1, to be equal to plus minus ae, and then find out the x minus 1. So x minus 1 is equal to plus minus ae, x is equal to 1 plus minus ae, which is what we have, 1 plus minus a multiplied by the eccentricity. Equation of directrix. So the equation of directrices here is, so x minus 1 is equal to plus minus a over e, right? The x would have been plus minus a over e. So we have a as square root of 15 and square root of 15 over 3. And this gives us x is equal to 1 plus or minus 3. So the one of the directrix will have x is equal to 4, and another directrix will have the equation x is equal to negative 2. And then let's write down the equation of the asymptotes. Equation of asymptotes. Here are so y is equal to plus or minus. We have square root of 10, square root of 15, x. This is just b over a, right? So y is equal to plus or minus. This is the form we will get if we simplify. Plug in the x and move the y minus 3. So the 3 comes on this side, and this is the asymptote. So one of the asymptotes will have the equation y is equal to this thing, and the other one will have the equation y is equal to negative of that. All right, finally we can look at the length of the, or equation of the latera recta. Equation of latera recta, or latest recta, each of the latest rectum, is here x is equal to, so the latest rectum passes through the foci, right? So we have 6 and negative 4 here. So we can just have x is equal to 6 and x is equal to negative 4. And the length of this line, length of this thing, each of this will have the length 2b squared, which is 2 square root of 10 squared, over square root of 15, which is 4 square root 15 over 3. The length of the transverse axis, is 2a, which is 2 square root of 15. And of the conjugate axis is 2b, right? So that's 2 square root of 10. Now we have calculated out all of the parts, or just simply if you draw a diagram and figure them out. Now let's have a look at this diagram. So this is the hyperbola we have. This is the shape of the hyperbola. And yes, it is the transverse axis is here on the x direction, right? The center is there, 1, 3. That's the HK. The vertex are the vertices are the turning points, right? So vertex 1 and vertex 2. The foci, the first focus is there, the second focus is there. The directrix, these are the directrices. Here are the asymptotes we plotted, and the latest rectum. So this is the equation of the latest rectum. That's the first one, and this is the second one. And if we did point out like 2 parts from the latest rectum, which cuts the curve, and we subtracted them, for example, if I do f minus g, I get so the x value doesn't change, but the y is giving us the length. You can see it says 5.16. Here it's negative, but we would take the absolute value, of course. It's just the length. So yeah, the 4 square root of 15 over 3 here, this value is 5.16. So that's it for this video.